everybody's boy Candy. We got what was each Primarch's relationship with the Emperor like. Now, to be honest with you, I mean, a lot of his sons don't like him, so I would assume that he had a lot of bad relationships with his sons. Before we get into it, I just want to say, man, comment down below a Christmas tree emoji. We have 15 days until the Christmas giveaway is revealed on Christmas Day. The winner gets a $30 gift card of your choice. I don't care if it's Barnes & Noble, Subway, McDonald's, Wendy's, etc. If you win, you will get a $30 gift card of your choice. My bad, y'all. It's the first video today, so if my brain's not working right now, this is the first video today. Let me live. Other than that, man, let's hear it. Let's go.
G'day, guys and gal. Warhammer 40k has a lot of themes and subtle messages. One not so subtle message is the dangers of daddy issues, and why that even supreme demigod immortals need a hug and positive reinforcement from time to time.
Bro, like, and it's really serious, y'all. Like, I'm talking about, like, in real life. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, I'm gonna get a little personal. I didn't have my dad growing up, y'all. And there was times, bro, when I was 8 to 9 to 10 years old, and I'd be on the phone with him, because obviously I never really seen him in, like, in real life or whatever. There'll be times, y'all, when I was on the phone, bro, I was bawling my eyes out, and for a kid, that can really do, that can do some damage to a kid, bro. Obviously, well, I don't want to say obviously, but I had a stepdad, and I just thank him for, teaching me some values and stuff like that. But at the same time, man, I was really longing for my real father, and that hurts, bro. It did, and it took a while for me to really not get over it, but it took a while for me to, like, forgive him, and it's a whole process. But yo, if you've never had your dad in your life before, just like me, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's messed up, but it is what it is. You got to move on,
The Emperor's parenting skills can be described as inconsistent. At times, he seemed like an amazing dad, understanding his son's needs and how to bring them into his vision for the galaxy, no matter how violent and oppressive that vision may be. Yet at other times, it seems like he dropped his chromosomes, neglected and outright screwing over some of his sons.
That's crazy.
For no apparent reason beyond him being a bit of an asshole. This inconsistency has caused his Primarchs to have complicated opinions of him, ranging from respect and adoration all the way to burning hatred. Today we'll go over each of the Primarchs' opinion of their father, the Emperor. For traitor Primarchs, I'll only talk about their opinion until they became traitors, because after that it just becomes a bunch of, daddy doesn't love me, so now I have to commit genocide. Ooh, let's get into it.
I mean, well, obviously that's not an excuse, right? If your dad does not love you, bro, like, just because my dad wasn't there for me does not mean that I have to go out there and make everybody else's days worse because of whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like, and I think I said this in, like, a video probably like a few weeks ago. I said, yo, like, it really comes down to decisions. And at the end of the day, bro, whether you're hurt, whether you go through a lot of pain, whatever, bro, a lot of these villains, bro, a lot of these school threats, a lot of these menaces to societies, bro, they basically take their pain, because we all go through pain, but they basically take their pain and put it on other people. Good people who went through whatever, they take their pain, bro, and they try not to put the same pain that they was dealt with. They try not to give other people that pain, because they know how horrible it feels. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, just a little, my little take.
Kicking us off with the Lion, because not only is he the best Primarch, but he is also the first, because he's the best. All the other Primarchs had an element of the Emperor within them. However, the Lion was a lot like his father in many ways. His gravitas and nobility was second to none, other than maybe Sanguinius, yet he was cold and ruthless enough to get the job done. There's a reason why the Emperor allowed the Lion and the Dark Angels to have a bunch of cool, forbidden ancient technology. They were the only legion that he trusted absolutely, and I think that has a lot to do with how similar the Lion and the Emperor were. As such, the Lion respected the shit out of the Emperor. His loyalty was absolute, with Kairos Fateweaver even being like, ah shit, when he approached the Lion, intent on—
Real quick. Yo, let me just say this real quick. I know how Majorkill just made a joke about, oh, well, a lot of these traitor Primarchs or whatever, they're going to be like, oh, daddy wasn't there for me. But, like, at the end of the day, let's keep it real for what it is, bro. The Emperor definitely ruined a lot of these relationships with his sons, y'all. Like, the more I learn about Warhammer and stuff like that, y'all, bro, what he did to Angron was crazy work. Bro, how you gonna go against his own will? Bro, then he, like, I'm pretty sure, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but then the Emperor, like, offer Angron, like help, like, 20,000 years, not 20,000 years, but, like, that's an exaggeration, but then he offered him help, like, way beyond he had like the nails in his head or whatever. Did he offer him help? And then Angron was like, nah, I'm good, whatever. I'm just stay with, with my legion or whatever. Yo, didn't he, like, give him the 5-knuckle shuffle? Didn't he knock him out? And then basically, wait, I'm pretty sure he took Angron and then, like, had his legion destroyed? Bro, what type of ish is that? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The Emperor, that was so stupid. That was dumb.
Turning into chaos, but then realizing there was not a single future out of all the infinite ones he could see, where the line would turn to chaos then and there. Then Kairos got shanked by a big-ass greatsword. The quote, "loyalty is its own reward," literally comes from the Lion. I know there's a lot of memes and theories calling the Dark Angels traitor and that the Lion would have joined whichever side he saw as the inevitable victors, but that's bullshit. When the traitors were on Terra and the Imperium seemed doomed, the Lion went to nearly every single homeworld of each traitor Primarch and blew it up, meaning that if the traitors did win, the Lion would be public enemy #1. As the Lion is a pretty cold and calm dude, the most we ever see of his opinion of the Emperor is respect and loyalty, not the exaltation and literal cummy pants of some of the other Primarchs.
Hey, yo.
Primarch 2 obviously had a fucking terrible relationship with the Emperor, as not only is he dead, but he and his legion have been deleted from the annals of history. He must have...
Why does he have a picture of David Dobrik in front of my face right now? What's the context? Why does he have David Dobrik in our face right now?
Taken the last slice of peri-peri chicken pizza or something. Fulgrim was the definition of a simp when he met the Emperor, and he remained that way all the way until he betrayed the Imperium. Like when Horus was telling Fulgrim to join him and betray the Emperor, and it's also important to note here that Fulgrim was heavily influenced and corrupted by his demon sword by this point, Fulgrim started crying, wanted to kill Horus, and literally said word for word, "all my life I wanted to be like him" in regards to the Emperor. Then he turned traitor because he's a fucking idiot. Until then though, Fulgrim was...
I mean, I don't think he was... let's keep it real. I don't think he turned traitor because he was an idiot. I think he turned traitor because bro was down bad. Let's keep it real for what it is, y'all. Bro, that sword... Yo, you never know what type of evil, diabolical, sexual things that sword was talking to Fulgrim, bro. You never know, bro. Yeah, that thing would... Man, I bet every time Fulgrim went to sleep and he set that sword next to him, man, yo, that sword was doing all type of sleep hypnosis on him and everything, bro. You never know. Man, that's... Yo, let's keep it real for what it is. That sword, this sword right here... That was dirty talking to him and stuff like that. Bro, this sword would have y'all down bad, y'all. Not me. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm copacetic. This sword right here that was dirty talking him, man, this sword will have y'all in a frenzy, bro. Yo, this sword will, no, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This sword right here, bro, will have y'all like going into rehab, y'all. Like, let's keep it real for what it is. I feel like we really, I never thought I'd ever do this in my life, y'all, but like I gotta like, I don't want to say that I'm, giving Fulgrim excuses, but at the end of the day, let's not act like he just woke up and just wanted to, like, go crazy and, and beat up his meat 10 times a day. No, bro, he had this sword, he had this sword right here talking the worst sexual ish to him every day. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, any one of us is gonna fold.
Huge kiss ass, being extremely proud that his legion was called the Emperor's Children and bearing the Imperial Aquila. You would have thought that he would be the hardest to turn traitor, but it's always the psycho clingy girlfriends who love you with all their in your tires and leaving you threatening voicemails, so I think that applies really well to Fulgrim here. The fourth Primarch is Perturabo, who, like Fulgrim, started off as a huge Emperor simp.
Yo, I keep forgetting that he's a Primarch, bro. Like, I keep forgetting about that. Like, this Perturabo dude, like, I keep forgetting about that.
When Perty met the Emperor, he was completely elated. It was the best moment of his entire life, as he realized that there was more to his existence and that he finally met his equals. See, Perturabo's Primarch powers were awesome, but also kinda sucked. He instantly understood everything he saw, hence there was no joy of discovery or challenge. His life was just way too easy. On top of that, he was always able to see the Eye of Terror, which made him super paranoid as it would. However, when he met the Emperor, he felt that childlike joy, and even the Eye of Terror shrank away and was hidden from sight in the presence of the legendary Emperor of Mankind. However, after that meeting, Perturabo's opinion of the Emperor would slowly but surely diminish. He never complained, hence always accepted the Emperor's orders to head to the most grueling and vicious sieges. His sons died in droves, as he accepted his missions with grim determination. He believed he would eventually receive the praise and reward for such shit tasks, but instead, his opposite, Rogal Dorn, was the one chosen as the Praetorian of Terror, and given the love he believed he deserved. By the time Perturabo turned traitor, he was extremely bitter, but despite that, Horus still had to pull off some massive manipulation to finally bring him over the line. Such was...
That's what this whole thing is about, y'all. This whole thing, this whole Warhammer game, y'all, is literally about, like, bro, well, obviously it's about war, but, like, bro, like, it really shows you, it's all manipulation, bro. I don't want to be that guy that's, like, what's it called, y'all, that, like, that's full of conspiracies or whatever. Like, I'm not that type of dude, but, like, let's keep it real for what it is. This whole game is literally about manipulation, y'all. Like, bro, like, this isn't even, like, you got this Primarch saying something about this Primarch, and then you got Horus trying to, you know, finesse and wiggle his way through and, like, you know, try to bring this person to his side. Like, it's crazy.
His initial love for his father. The Khan is next, and he genuinely has the most common sense and reasonable opinion of the Emperor and the Imperium. He knows the Emperor is a bit of a tyrant and an asshole, with the Imperium also not being that great. However, he is also aware that humanity needs a bit of a tyrant and an asshole if it's going to unite and face the darkness the galaxy has to offer. That, plus he was aware that standing against the Emperor would result in his death, hence he was happy to fall in line. The Khan considers the Emperor as intelligent and his actions as necessary, reasonable and well thought out. He regrets that they weren't closer, but he doesn't blame the Emperor for abandoning the Great Crusade and keeping the reasons secret. When the heresy broke out, a lot of people, including the Emperor, thought the Khan would turn traitor. However, when the Khan figured out what the fuck was going on, he was like, who do I join? My absent father who has united humanity and drives us towards a goal.
And you know what's so crazy? Like, it's crazy because, bro, he's the only one with a brain. And what's so diabolical about this entire thing is, bro, and this goes on in real life too, what you guys don't notice is, bro, it's always that one person that can, like, string two people to, like, beefing each other. Like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just got done watching the Diddy documentary, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of knew this. I don't know how I knew this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew this as well. But, like, I'm pretty sure in, like, the Diddy documentary, y'all, in, like, episode 2 or 3, whenever they were talking about Tupac and Biggie, how basically Diddy kind of, like, set them both up to, like, beef against each other. You know, to you know, push record sales and stuff like that. It's crazy how, bro, in real life, like, it's legit like that. How it can always be that one person that can be like, oh, well, he said this, but in reality, he didn't say anything. And now, you know, he thought that he said this, and he thought that he said this, and now they're going, it's just crazy, bro. Shout out to Jagged Icon for actually using his brain, because a lot of these Primarchs, first of all, they're dumb. Second of all, I mean, they're just going to take whatever somebody, like, I feel like they're just, like, I feel like they're more human in a way, you know, like the human natural way. Like, if we hear from somebody else that said that, oh, this person said that you're ugly, we're automatically gonna go, like, gonna fire back, if that makes sense. You know, that's like our human way. That's like our human nature. The fact that bro took a step back and was like, let me really dissect this. Yo, Jagged Icon, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You just earned 2 more brain cells, bro. Bro, applause to you.
Golden Age, or a bunch of demonic rapists who want to genocide everyone. Really tough pick on that one, mate. The Khan's common sense way of thinking is one of the biggest reasons why he is so underrated. But overall, his relationship with the Emperor was very distant and had little emotion.
That armor's tough too.
The Khan placed a lot of trust in the Emperor and his vision. Lehman thought the Emperor was the best thing since fairy porn. Their meeting...
Since what? What did he just say?
His vision. Lehman thought the Emperor was the best thing since fairy porn. Their meeting...
Boy, what is that? Let me use my noodle. Furry? You talking about the...
when the Emperor lost an eating and drinking contest to the Wolf King before knocking his ass out cold, was a huge highlight for Lehman.
Yo, real quick, yo, Emperor, L stomach, yo. The fact that you lost a eating and drinking competition to bro right here, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, L stomach and L throat. There's no way, bro. Like, you're the Emperor, right? You're the God Emperor, right? You're the guy, and you lost the eating and drinking competition to bro right here. You're down bad, bro, and your stomach is your stomach is so weak, it's crazy, bro.
He dutifully followed his assignment as the Emperor's executioner, following his father's orders without debate or complaint. Russ also had a close relationship with Malcador, who was like the Primarch's uncle. Considering half the Primarchs hated Malcador, and a few of them had literally tried to kill him, that means a fair amount. Lehman's a bit like an orc. He respects strength, and nobody is stronger than the Emperor. But despite that, Lehman never came across as an Emperor simp like Fulgrim did. He trusted and respected the Emperor, accepting that Daddy knows best, but he didn't burst into tears while jacking off every time the Emperor needed him to go fuck someone up. Rogal Dorn is in a bit of a similar boat to Lehman. Rogal isn't a super emotional guy, but he is very practical. He joined the Emperor and enacted his will because it was the most practical thing to do. That wasn't to say they didn't have a warm relationship.
Yo, I'm gonna be real. Every time I see this picture right here, I always think this is G-Thug. I forget that this is Rogal. I always think, oh my, like, I don't know why, but I always think that this is G-Thug.
The Emperor placed a lot of trust and faith in Rogal, declaring him the Praetorian of Terror and giving him command of mankind's capital world. On the flip side, Rogal had a mental breakdown when the Emperor died and he was forced to carry his broken body to the Golden Throne. A mental breakdown which is partially to blame for the existence of the Black Templars, so their relationship was clearly deep and powerful yet subtle on the surface. Two professionals who were not overtly emotional having a connection that only really showed when one of them kicked the bucket. Saying Conrad Kurse wasn't the Emperor's #1 fan is a bit of an understatement. When Conrad first saw the Emperor, he literally got a vision of his own death and he tried to claw his own eyes out. So yeah, not the best first impression out there, but
such a school threat, bro. Such a menace to society, bro. Like, bro, such a threat to all nations. Like, bro, just look at him, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm respectful to, like, a lot of people. I would never shake bro's hand ever in my life. Ever. Ever, bro. Like, no lie, bro. Like, say what you want, bro. I'd rather go hunt squirrels, bro, than to shake bro's hand. He looks like a criminal. I'm not gonna lie to you, like...
Surprisingly not the worst out of all the Primarchs. Conrad also got more and more insane as time went on, so his genuine opinions can get hard to discern. Despite this, it's clear Conrad wished the Emperor never found him. He was content with his own little planet, ruling a society free of crime. Him being forced into a galactic conflict he didn't give a fuck about wasn't great for his sanity or mood. He also got enraged that he would get judged and censored for his legion's method of war, even though that is what he believed he was designed to do. But like I said, Conrad was batshit insane. By the time he died, he literally allowed an assassin cut his head off to prove a point that nobody really understood or even gave a fuck about. But yeah, he really didn't like his dad that much. Sanguinius comes in next, and he loved his father from day one. He wept when they first met, but not in the cringy way Fulgrim or Perturabo did. From there, he trusted, respected, and followed his father without question. When the Emperor would do something questionable or lie to his sons, the traitors would be like, "See, I told you, he lied, so now we need to genocide everyone." Whereas Sanguinius was like, "Fathers lie to their sons to protect them. That does not mean he doesn't love them, nor does it mean he has betrayed them. I am hurt by the lie, but I know its intentions were pure. My faith in the Emperor remains strong." Which is a very healthy and well-adjusted way to go about it, in my opinion.
True.
Sanguinius' faith in the Emperor would last until he drew his final breath, proving once again that Hawkboy is the second best Primarch, behind the...
So now we just lying to everybody. Bro, the Lion's not #1. Bro, we all know who #1 is. And listen, if I say his name, I'm going to automatically get 20 hate comments. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro, it's okay. Like, I'm going to just say his name anyway. Like, we all know that the #1 Primarch is Vulcan. Everyone and their mama know that. #2, you can give it to the Lion or Sanguinius. We don't care. you can have those guys fight over #2. But #1, we all know it's Vulcan. Point blank, period. There's nobody better. He is the greatest of all time. And I want you to know that.
Line, of course. Primarch 10 is Ferris, who had a very strong and familiar bond with the Emperor, often accompanying him on various conquests and even sharing some solid banter with him. This probably has a lot to do with Ferris's refusal to ever kiss ass, and only respects strength and prowess. As Ferris and the Emperor's meeting was like a literal Dragon Ball Z tier.
This is the Ferris dude? Okay.
Punch on, needless to say there was a lot of respect gained there. However, as Ferris got decapitated pretty early on in the Horus Heresy, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of lore leading up to that point, we don't get to see more of this positive relationship explored as much. Primarch 11 could have liked the Emperor, but it's unlikely considering he was banished to the Shadow Realm and he doesn't even exist in even the most restricted of Imperial archive. Angron fucking hates the Emperor. From day one.
Bro, duh? Duh? Who? Bro, come on, bro. Yo, first of all, if I was born as Angron, bro, and you telling me that I'm one of the Emperor's sons, and I'm down here getting whipped on and beat on and whatever, and now I got these Allen Iverson little steel metal braids inside of my brain, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I would hate him too. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, what? When
the Emperor abducted Angron on the eve of battle from his warriors, leaving them to be slaughtered, the Primarch of the World Eaters has been enraged. This is the Emperor's fault. He could have deployed the World Eaters' Legion to back up Angron, saving his warriors and tactfully unifying him with his Legion, but no, he chose the worst possible outcome.
Just dumb. How are you supposed to be that powerful and you're like, you made that much of a dumb decision? Like, how can you be that powerful, bro? Like, what are we doing?
Even leaving Angron to die on the planet would have had a better net result. As such, Angron hated the Emperor the entire time he was serving him, and he continues to hate him to this very day. Next up is Guilliman, who held the Emperor in deep respect, seeing him as a legendary mentor and father figure. But the two never got as close as, let's say, Ferris did with the Emperor. He respected the Emperor's vision and ideals, but the two just didn't hang out much. The Emperor trusted Guilliman to do a good job, and Guilliman didn't need his daddy's hand 3 feet up his asshole to feel appreciated.
Hey, yo! Alright, I'm back. I'm back. I have to, like, adjust my camera real quick. I think it's good.
In the current setting, he was shocked to see his father again in his new godlike form. He realized that the Emperor didn't really care about them as sons, but rather as tools. Despite his sadness at this realization, Guilliman still respects the Emperor's vision for humanity and continues to uphold it to this day. Mortarion is next, and boy oh boy, did the Emperor and Morty not get along. First, because Morty stunk like shit.
Duh! Bro, if I'm Mortarion, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, and maybe this is just me, but like, I feel like he has to, him and Angron, but especially him, he has the right to become a villain, bro. Like, if he goes crazy and just eliminates millions of people all at one time, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, like, I'm letting him leave. I'm letting him go. Because I'm gonna keep it real. If I came out the womb and I smell like straight up sardines, yo, this is what you doing? Like, I don't know, because remember, the Emperor made these dudes out of test tubes. He didn't make these, he didn't make the Primarchs like the normal way, like us humans do, by mating. No, bro, he made these boys, he was, this man Emperor, bro, this man Emperor, this man was in his basement, bro, mixing concoctions to make different Primarchs, bro. What are we talking about? If I'm Mortarion, and my whole gimmick is, oh, he stinks. Come on, yo. I don't know if you put some type of skunk juice into my DNA whenever you was mixing me up. But like, I'm gonna keep it real for what it is. Yo, he has the chance to go out there and eliminate millions of people, and I won't say anything. As a matter of fact, yo, if he goes out there right now and just start dropping bombs on planets, I'm just keep it real for what it is. He's not going on my school threat list, bro. You know what? He gets a pass. He has to get a pass, bro. Because, like, there's no way he came out the womb looking like these. Yo, he came out the womb looking like these and smelling like, I can smell bro through the screen right now. I just want to just press play just so I can get him off the screen because I can smell him through the screen.
But mostly because on their first meeting, the Emperor mocked and goaded Morty into a suicide mission. When Morty failed and the Emperor had to intervene and save him, Morty developed a lot of resentment, seeing his father as having stolen his moment of glory. From there, despite the Emperor taking steps to appease Morty, such as banning Psykers, Morty remained a salty little sausage. He compared the Emperor to his dead adoptive father, who was a Witch King Psyker tyrant. Ironically, Morty would end up being a tyrannical Witch King Psyker, but Morty was always the biggest hypocrite out of all the Primarchs, so that's to be expected.
I mean, but at the same time, though, let's not act like the Emperor didn't make bro. Like, why are we automatically jumping to the Emperor's side on this? Like, why are we automatically, and I'm not that type of dude to, like, you know, automatically, like, you know, protect the Primarchs or whatever, but at the same time, yo, let's keep it real for what it is. I feel like a lot of us are not keeping it real. Let's keep it real for what it is, bro. The Emperor was a horrible father. I feel like the Emperor already had, like, favorites, and I felt like Mortarion just wasn't one of his favorites. Like, just the way he treated them. Like, bro, the way, think about it, y'all. Like, no trolling. I'm not even gonna troll. The way the Emperor treated Vulcan whenever he first met him, versus the way he treated, I don't know, versus the way he treated Angron, it's two different things. Now, at the same time, was Vulcan, was he like? I guess Vulcan was, like, you know, comprehending. I guess Vulcan did stand up to the challenge. I guess Vulcan did. Vulcan was a nice dude. So at the end of the day, okay, I can see that. But at the same time, bro, like, Vulcan wasn't a slave. Vulcan wasn't getting whipped 24/7. Vulcan didn't have nails in his brain. And that actually impacts a person's life. You know, like why are we acting like the Emperor is just, he was just a nice guy all around? No, bro, this man was not a nice guy all around. But at the same time, let's not act like that he put Angron on that planet, because he didn't. I think last time I checked, the Emperor's BM, the Emperor's baby mama, actually just started, yo, she legit started throwing, she started throwing Primarchs like Tom Brady to random different planets. So at the end of the day, it is kind of her fault, but at the same time, like, let's not act like the Emperor was just like great dad. No, he was a deadbeat.
Morty would let this resentment fester inside of him until he abandoned all his ideals and morals purely despite his father. The 15th is Magnus. Magnus and the Emperor had a special connection. Due to their war powers, they actually met psychically years before their physical meeting. Magnus adored his father and looked up to him, but was a bit of a naughty boy, ignoring his father's warnings about the dangers of the warp and continuing to use warp sorcery despite the Emperor outlawing it. It was Magnus's lack of discipline which would eventually ruin his shit, causing a boatload of damage to the Emperor and the Imperium as a whole. Despite numerous bad encounters with the Emperor, Magnus always loved him as a father, nearly rejoining the Loyalist side deep into the Horus heresy. Next up is Horus. None were as close to the Emperor as Horus. He was officially the first Primarch to be found, but was actually the second, and fought in countless wars and campaigns with the Emperor, usually side by side. He loved, adored, respected, admired, and performed self-molestation all in the Emperor's name. The other Primarchs were jealous and performed self-molestation all in the Emperor's name. The other Primarchs were jealous of how close the two were, with the Emperor even granting Horus the role of War Master. In hindsight, that was a massive fuck-up, but retrospect is a beautiful thing. Horus's opinion of the Emperor would dampen when the Emperor apparently abandoned the Great Crusade, allowing dark forces to manipulate Horus into eventually selling his soul to chaos and causing the biggest ruckus the galaxy had seen in over 60 million years. It's important to note that even up until the moment Horus was kind of forced to turn his back on the Emperor, he still held a lot of positive views of him. Now onto Lorgar. Nobody wanted to suck and fuck the Emperor more than Lorgar did. Not even Fulgrim. Lorgar saw the Emperor as his literal god, and he worshipped him as such. The Emperor's humble attempts at trying to get Lorgar to chill the fuck out only increased Lorgar's adoration of him. It was only until the Emperor blew up Lorgar's favourite city, psychically mind-raped his entire legion, and completely and utterly humiliated Lorgar, did Lorgar go, "Wait a minute, fuck this guy," before proceeding to help instigate the Horus heresy.
Do you see how, like, no, but here's the thing, Lorgar, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Good on you. Good on you for instigating this entire thing, because, yo, the Emperor, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, how dumb you are, bro, and I don't mean to be so negative, y'all, because I just hate being negative, y'all, but let's just keep it real for what it is. Bro was that much of a horrible father. If your son worshipped you like a god, you automatically go destroy his things, go da-da-da-da. So you automatically cause like a bad impersonation of who you are. Instead of sitting him down and be like, "Hey bro, I'm not a god, like I'm your dad. I'm not that, I'm not a god." Like for example, right? For example, if I had a son, right, and my son started, thinking that I was God or started worshiping me like I'm God, do you think that I'm gonna go to his school and start? I'm not even gonna say that. But do you think I'm gonna like just start doing a lot of bad things just so I can ruin that image of who I am? I'm not trying to ruin the God image of who I am. I'm trying to show him, hey, son, I'm human just like you. I'm not God. Like, I cry too, or I mess up too. I'm not God. Like, you should be worshiping, aka Jesus Christ. You should be worshiping Jesus. You should be worshiping. You should be reading the Bible. You should, that's God, not me. Like, I'm human. So I don't know.
He went from the Emperor's #1 fan to the Emperor's greatest enemy within a short span of time, showing once again that the Emperor is a bit of a shitty dad. Vulcan and the Emperor...
He is though. Oh, hold up, the GOAT. Hold up. The GOAT.
...and a time, showing once again that the Emperor is a bit of a shitty dad.
Hold up.
Vulcan and the Emperor were close. The Emperor adored Vulcan, seeing him as the only Primarch that was truly human and kind, which is why he trusted him to make the Talisman of 7 Hammers, a device that would activate if the Golden Throne was ever to fall and the Emperor to truly die. If this happened, then the Talisman would completely and utterly annihilate all of Terra, killing whatever foe was powerful enough to breach its defenses. Some might call it a bit of a sore loser move, but I appreciate a good contingency plan. The Emperor and Vulcan's mutual respect and love would never fail. Corvus Corax is...
Bro, that's all we get? Vulcan gets like 10 seconds, that's it? Yo, Majorkill, I'm starting to think you a hater, bro. Honestly. Yo, that's all Vulcan gets? Is that 10 seconds? Are you sick? Like, what's going on?
19th. And whilst he and the Emperor's interactions were limited, they had a powerful sense of respect for one another. Unlike Mortarion and Angron, the Emperor handled Corvus's delicate situation upon meeting with a lot more intelligence and tact. Corvus had a bunch of nukes that he could use to win the war and take over his planet, but he would have to kill a lot of people. The Emperor and he spoke, and then the Emperor left Corvus to make the decision. Corvus ended up using the nukes and winning the war, joining the Emperor's crusade soon after. The Emperor allowing Corvus to make his own decision gave Corvus a huge sense of respect for the Emperor. This bond would continue, as the Emperor would tell Corvus secrets he wouldn't share with the other Primarchs, whilst also giving Corvus fancy weapons and tech, similar to how he gave the Lion the Dark Age of Technology weapons. As such, despite Corvus not being huge on the amount of war, suffering and genocide that occurred during the Great Crusade, he understood and trusted his father's judgment and vision. The way the Emperor dealt with Corvus is how he should have dealt with Mortarion and Angron. It would have saved him one smelly piece of shit moth and one extremely loud headache. And finally, Alpharius. Thanks to the most recent
I'm pretty sure he hated these guys, right?
Alpharius novel, which I haven't yet read, we got to see a lot of insights into Alpharius and his thought processes. Hence the usual meme of Alpharius and Alpharius thought Alpharius of the Emperor is no longer valid, or particularly funny. Alpharius was found first at an early age, hence he was literally raised by the Emperor in Malcador, giving him a very unique relationship with his father. The Emperor placed a lot of trust in him, telling him to infiltrate every single legion and tasking him with the sole goal of preventing the fall of the Imperium no matter the cost. Obviously, Alpharius has an interesting way of interpreting orders, as the Alpha Legion are in the most part a bunch of fucking heretics, but Alpharius and his father had a good relationship for the most part. So as bad as the father of the Biggie might have been, up until the heresy, the Emperor maintained good relationships with the vast majority of his sons. If only he didn't shit in Lorgar's breakfast, that might have been enough. If you enjoyed the video...
Shout out to Majorkill, man, for this video. I don't appreciate that Vulcan only got like 10 seconds, but it is what it is. I guess, he didn't mean to overdo it. I feel like if he really overdid it with Vulcan, I feel like all of us, really like, I feel like that would like, kind of hypnotize all of you guys to like, become Vulcan fans. So I see why he didn't, glaze Vulcan too much. But, obviously, like, let's keep it real. Like, the best relationship that the Emperor had out of like all the Primarchs was Vulcan. Comment down below, man, what do you guys think about this video? Shout out to Majorkill, man, for this video. Comment down below a Christmas tree emoji to be entered into the giveaway. The Christmas giveaway, it will be revealed on Christmas Day. No multiple takes. It's going to be a one-take thing. I'm going to enter everybody's name into a spinning wheel, and then it's going to be just a one-take thing. Whoever wins, I'm going to DM you here on YouTube first, if you are here on YouTube. But if you're from the Instagram, then I'll just DM you. But if you're here on YouTube, I'll message you on YouTube, or I'll like respond to like one of your comments, and then you'll have like 48 hours to message me on Instagram. If you don't, then I'll just redo it. I'll like redo the spin the wheel. So other than that, man, thank y'all so much for all the support. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna see y'all every time out. Peace out, everybody.